What's going on, Mutha Truckers? Welcome to Mutha Trucking News. Email us on muthatruckernews@gmail.com. We're going to have a conversation today. There's going to be drivers that probably will unsubscribe, and that's okay. You know, there's a lot of drivers that say, Alex, you know, you're doing a lot of this politics in trucking, and what does politics have to do with trucking? And I'll tell you what, a lot of these rules and regulations that affect truck drivers is because of politics. And so as much as we love it or don't like it, I will share it because I think it is important for truck drivers to know the information of what this could mean for the trucking industry. So the big ones out of the bag right now, right? The White House administration is leaking out that, hey, President Trump is going to sign an executive order to make English the official language of the United States. Right? And you're thinking about this, you know, we thought English already was. No, it actually wasn't. In the last 250 years, no language was made as the official language. And so they say there's 320 plus languages spoken all across America, and probably more than that. But he's going to sign this later on today or tomorrow morning. By the time you watch this video, he'll probably already have signed it. Okay. Now, what does this have to do to pertain with the trucking industry, and how can this shape how things are done in trucking when it comes to getting your CDL or maybe even an inspection when you're at the weigh stations? So let's get into this right now, and let's talk about the changes that will happen. And for some, they'll say that this isn't big changes, but for the trucking industry, it could mean big changes. What's going to happen when President Trump signs this executive order to make English the official language in America is that it will rescind a federal mandate that was issued by former President Bill Clinton that agencies and other recipients of federal funding are required to provide language assistance to non-English speakers. So, you know, let's think about this in the trucking industry. You know, first off, federal funding. What agencies are federal funded that affect truck drivers? Well, let me give you a couple, right? One is the FMCSA, Department of Transportation, DPS, DMV, even Highway Patrol gets federal funding and state funding. So this whole time, you know, because of what Bill Clinton signed in, it made these agencies that are federally funded had to be required to provide language assistance to non-English speakers. So when you're going to the DMV or DPS and you're taking a written exam, people are saying, wait, but don't truck drivers have to speak English? Yes, it's true when you take your road test. But because of what Bill Clinton signed in, this mandate, you know, they are able to get language assistance. That's why there's certain places in California and other states like Massachusetts that allow the written exam to get your CDL to be in other languages. Okay. And so what does that mean really? When President Trump signs in this executive order to make English the official language, agencies aren't required to do this anymore. They're not required to have written exams for the CDL to be in different languages. They can just say, no, it's only going to be in English. So that could be some trouble for some people, right? The other thing that's big in the truck industry is right now, if you get pulled over by a DOT, a weigh station inspection, as of right now, I know it sounds crazy, but if you get pulled over and you don't speak a lick of English at all, you know, a DOT officer will let you use a translator, okay, to translate, right? And so with making English official language, does that change that rule? Okay, so there's a lot of things. Now that's not going to be required. You know, does that make it safer for trucking? Mutha Truckers, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. But definitely very interesting stuff. You know, for some, they say that's not going to do much. But for the trucking industry, do you think that making English a official language would help the trucking industry? Yes or no? You know, Mutha Truckers, comment down below. And I'm going to take a hot take on this, right? Because every time I make a video that has anything to do with non-speaking English, this and that, and my feelings about this, truck drivers are very upset with me. But I'm here to say this. You know, I care so much about safety and the safety of all truck drivers and people on the road, right? Your kids are driving on the road, your parents are on the road, your family members on the road. The last thing you want is somebody that's driving 80,000 pounds, right, of a commercial vehicle not be able to read the signs. So look, I'm not saying anyone needs to speak English perfectly. I'm just saying you got to be able to speak enough English for the reasons of safety, right? Even in the Federal Register at the fmcsa.gov, it says the FMCSA provides regulatory guidance concerning the applicability of the driver qualification requirement that interstate drivers must be able to read and speak in English language sufficiently to converse with the general public and respond to official inquiries. So again, I'm not saying that you got to speak English perfectly, but if you don't agree with me that you have to be able to at least be able to read the sign, of what's going on out there so that you could drive this heavy duty commercial vehicle safely, then hey, I don't know. But, as of right now, there are many states that offer, the written portion of the CDL test in different languages. And so they were required to do that. Okay. But with making English an official language of the United States, they won't be required anymore. They can still have it, but they're not required. So if they take that away, is that good for trucking? Is that bad for trucking? My truckers, comment down below. But yeah, these are the things that can affect the trucking industry, and just want to share my information that, this is what's going on. And so he should be signing this later on today. It's already late, but if he doesn't, then he's going to sign it very soon. And this is the implications of that. So, Mutha truckers, comment down below.